Hi there, my name is Shea, my wife's name is Kayleigh, and together we are tackling some big debt in the Big Apple. Hello and happy Friday. I don't know where my coffee went. Please hold. That's the kind of Friday I'm having. How about you? We had a very busy week last week. Many things, mostly just a lot of working hard. And the reason that Kayleigh is not here right now is because she is closing out this very busy week for us. Me and her and one of our friends all got tickets to the famed, on TikTok at least, Cruset Factory table sale that's happening right now, like literally as we speak, in Hartford, Connecticut. I was so thrilled, so excited, absolutely overjoyed for the opportunity to go and get this, half-priced, incredibly high-end cookware. But tragically, I do have rehearsal today. For those of you who are new here, I am an actress and a dancer, and I am in rehearsals for a show that is going to open at the beginning of October, and what we are doing today is all of the numbers that I'm in, including my big solo, just everything it's the big Shea day today. So I was like, I cannot. Rehearsal starts at 2, and I cannot afford to be even a bit late for this, so I had to bow out of going to the sale in person, and Kayleigh is going in my stead. She's got a whole list. She did her own research. She showed me this cart that she had on the Le Creuset website, and everything that she picked out for me was chef's kiss, absolutely perfect. So she will do a great job picking stuff out for us. But she is there. I am here, budgeting solo this Friday, and we had a very busy week last week. Lots of working, lots of rehearsals, lots of running around, and we are going to have a very busy week next week as well, because I am going to be continuing to be working a lot. I'm going into Connecticut for a special thing for my day job. I work at a school, so our first day of classes is on Monday, so I'm going to go and be there in person for the first day of classes, even though most of the time I work remote. And Kayleigh is heading out of town this coming Wednesday to go to a family reunion in Austin, Texas. So there's lots of things that we have to budget for, lots of things to consider. I have a whole to-do list so that I don't forget anything. And without further ado, let's get right into the budget. All right, welcome one, welcome all to the budget. Right now what I have pulled up is our overspent view. So you can see we went over on a couple of things. We really desperately needed cat litter, and I think we just forgot to budget for it last week. And then other things were, the kind of overspending that is typical of Kayleigh and Shea on any given week. We overspent a little bit on groceries. Kayleigh has, now that she's working in office, she gets her little fun celebratory midday beverages to have at the office, and then I think there was something, we ordered food out, or Kayleigh ordered food out, or I did, or something, I don't even remember. And then despite the fact that we told ourselves we would not want to buy morning coffee out, we were fools, and we absolutely did, so we did that. And then the other thing that you will see here, it says Giles Insurance September. That is one of our adorable cats. They're actually on their best behavior this morning. They are all asleep right now, so we'll see how long that lasts. But the insurance, the pet insurance for our 2 baby cats, Giles and Willow, comes out in September, and it looks like the rate got adjusted, so I'm going to cover that overspending and then chat with Kayleigh about adjusting the target, the yearly target, so that it is accurate next time. So I think I could probably cover the cat litter, but I don't think there's much else to... Yeah, I've got extra in transportation, and so far as I can tell, there's nothing pending. Everything that was pending, I made sure to categorize and put in this morning, so take care of that. And then I'm not really seeing anything else that we can pull from. I'm not going to be doing any workshops coming up, so I think maybe we can pull from that to cover some of this overspending as well. Okay. What else? What else? I don't even know. Yeah, and then the rest of it is all sinking funds. So, yeah, I mean, definitely not something we want to pull from in this case. All right, so the rest of this we will cover from Ready to Assign. Not ideal, but sometimes that happens. Okay, so now that we are all covered in the overspending department, let's go back to the regular budget. Today is a single paycheck week. Kayleigh works in the state of New York on her W-2 job, and my W-2 job is in the state of Connecticut, and so they run on different pay cycles. New York is a weekly pay cycle, and Connecticut is a bi-weekly pay cycle. So this is one of those pay cycles where only Kayleigh gets paid. But as you can see, for those of you who watch regularly, as you can see, we are working with a little bit more money from Kayleigh's paycheck than usual, and the reason for that is that there was a little shizzle. She went from a remote job to an in-person job very recently, and the people at payroll assigned her in-person office location to the wrong state, so she got extra taxes taken out. It was a whole thing, but we got it all figured out, and so now we have $200 extra to work with. I'm just checking off things on my to-do list right now. We have $200 extra to work with that had been incorrectly taken out in taxes that have now been rectified, put back in Kayleigh's account. So Kayleigh has sent in a couple of requests, and her two requests are that we take that $200 extra that she was owed, and that be put toward the family reunion that she is leaving for on Wednesday. Obviously, like, that has to get taken care of emergently because she will be spending that money within the next week. The other request that she had was obviously to fund as much as we can for the things that she is buying right now at the Cruset Factory to table sale. So I am going to do my best to support that in the budget as well as I possibly can. And then we will also cover everything else that has to happen this week as well. So there might be a little shifting of priorities, there might be a little bit of moving things around, but we are going to get it all done today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go down to travel. There we go. Excellent. Okay, family reunion. Oop, there we go. Nope. Okay. Now Kayleigh's family reunion is all done. That's still not fully funded. Okay, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna make sure this is all fully funded. Plus 70 as well. Boom, there we go. All funded. I went ahead and took some initiative, Kayleigh. I hope you don't mind fully funding your trip because it's happening in less than a week. I'm sure you will not mind. Okay, now that that is taken care of, that was Kayleigh's number one request for the budget this week, so now let's move on to rent and bills. Yay! Just the most fun. So, since our rent comes out on the 1st of every month, we have already paid for September, so let's go into October and get that rolling. Rent. Let's go. On a single paycheck week, we put $350 toward rent, and on a double paycheck week, we put $800, so that is... Hello? Can you do what I asked you to, please? There we go. Yay! So that is what we're putting toward rent this week, which is wonderful. Now let's go back into September. Unfortunately, we were not able to fund all of our bills on the 1st of the month the way that we normally like to. We are coming right up on the time of year when all of the extra cash that we've spent through starts to come back in because it's my busy season where I bring in a lot of extra income from my acting jobs. I have a very busy season, kind of from like the beginning of September through till like February or March. So the coffers are a little low at the moment, but my income is about to jump dramatically. Not dramatically, but it's gonna jump considerably. And so that'll give us a lot more wiggle room to work with in terms of making sure things like bills are funded at the beginning of the month, like we ideally like to have happen. So anyway, we have to make sure that everything from now through the 14th, I think. Yes, today's the 5th, so Friday the 14th. Yes. Okay, so we'll fund that. Ugh. A little bit too small. Or a bit too big. Okay. There we go. Excellent. And then I don't want to leave all of the Con Ed bill that has to come out on that Saturday for future Kayleigh and Shea to take care of, so I think I'm going to put $50 in here, and then the rest can come out of next week's paycheck. Excellent. Now let's go to our weekly view. This weekly view is just things that we know we're going to need a little bit of at least every week. So, groceries, every single week gets $100. Excellent. Transportation. Kayleigh likes to do, like, specific math. Oh my goodness. Kayleigh just sent me a photo of the line to get into the convention center. And it is so long. Wow. I've never seen so many organized looking women in my life. I'm so jealous I can't be there. Anyway, transportation. I think that $30 is probably plenty for this coming week. Booze. I might like to get myself a little bottle of wine. Yeah. While Kayleigh is in Austin. So I'm just gonna pop $20 in here. Ordering food. I don't have any plans to order any food this coming week, but something always comes up, so I'm also gonna pop $20 in there. Household consumables. I am definitely gonna need a couple of things, some toilet paper and maybe a little bit of bleach as well. So I'll put also $20 in there. That's just easy. I don't need any money for laundry, so we can leave that as is. And Pretty House, I'm just gonna put $10 in. Wyatt is Kayleigh's cousin slash nephew. We love him very much, and we save up his age in dollars every week so that hopefully, not hopefully, so that we will, when he turns 18, have a really nice sum to, you know, give him cash, buy him a computer for college, like whatever the case may be. Just have a little something to give him on his 18th birthday. So he gets $10 every week. So we have, after that, $295. Let's take a look at the rest of the budget and make sure that there is nothing else that has to happen emergently. Yep, Willow and Giles' insurance just came out. Cat food. I don't think we need cat food this week. Once again, hold please. Alright, I just went and checked. They will be good for another week, but we definitely have to go and get cat food next week. So, future Shea, future Kayleigh, make sure to take care of this next week. Cat litter, we just replaced all of the cat litter in all of the boxes, so I also think that we'll be okay for another week. Yeah, Giles? Okay, so we took care of bills. We looked at the kitty committee. Let's make sure there's nothing else that needs to happen in life. Vitamins, I need tea. I need tea and more fire cider. Hi, puppy. Remember how I said the cats were on their best behavior? That didn't last long, but that's okay. So that's going to be about $20 for the tea and the fire cider that I need to purchase. I am making my own fire cider so that I don't have to pay $15 for a little bottle. It is wildly more affordable. However, it also takes 3 weeks to steep, and I am sensing people around me getting sick, and I'm gonna go and be in a, you know, high school full of kids on Monday, so I really need to make sure that my immune system is in tip-top shape. Clothing, we don't need to fund. Notions, we don't need to fund. Everything else is pretty much taken care of. I think Kayleigh and my fun money can certainly wait because we are now at the stage of life where new Le Cruset cookware is fun money in many ways. So that will wait till next week, I think. Household consumables, laundry, household fixtures, pretty house. Yeah, we don't need anything for that. I have my little category for my career, but most of the time that I would normally spend like taking classes or taking workshops or things like that is now taken up by rehearsal, so I don't need anything like that. You want to say hello to everybody? Yeah. He's just looking around and having fun. Okay, high yield savings, all wonderful things, but I think this is gonna have to wait until later. I think that I will put the money for the factory to table sale in household fixtures. That feels correct. I mean, I have a feeling that she is going to spend on me lavishly. I think actually what I'm going to do is put the rest of the $2.75 just right in here. And then I will put that extra 71 cents in our wish farm, because that's what we do with all of our pocket change. We put it in the wish farm, save it up for a rainy day. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Oh, $2.75. That's what I meant to put in there. Goodness gracious. There we go. $2.75. So now she's got $2.75 to work with, and I think that'll be really nice. And then let's put this last 71 cents into the wish farm. Okay, and that is all of our money assigned this week, ladies and gentlemen. That first single paycheck week of the month is always a little bit tight, but I think we made some good forward-looking decisions. I don't think I forgot about anything. Kayleigh's trip is fully funded, which I think will make her very, very happy. And then I never spend as much money when I'm busy as I do when I'm not busy. So I think actually we'll be fine. I keep on thinking that I've forgotten something, but I'm good. So now that we have everything in our day-to-day budget taken care of, let us go over to the student loan budget. Oh no, my future, it's broken. That is the name of the budget. That is a very old joke, but we're gonna hang on to it at least until these are done getting paid off. So you'll keep hearing that for a while. Kayleigh had kind of floated the idea of really putting all of her energy this month into student loan number 10 to try and get it paid off like for her birthday. Her birthday is on the 13th, and last year we were able to pay off one of these big old grad school loans on the time of her birthday as well, and she, I think, is feeling very jazzed by the idea of potentially doing that again for her birthday this year. So normally what I would do is assign each of these smaller loans. This is just the balance that is needed as a payment in order for interest to not continue to accrue on that loan. But she did float the idea of putting everything on student loan number 10 and trying to get it paid off this month. So I think I'm gonna do that. Assign things, but leave it as it is, so that she can make sure that that's actually what she wants to have happen. All right, and that is the budget for this week. Things were a little tight, but I think that we aligned with our priorities really effectively, took care of everything that still needs to be taken care of, everything that was on my little to-do list and all of Kayleigh's requests were taken into account, and we had room for everything, which is great. I do so enjoy getting to sit down and get my fingers on the budget myself once in a while. I feel like I get a little bit faster and a little bit faster every time I do it. So that's great. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Every Sunday we do a little vlog style week in review type video. Sometimes we have things coming out on Tuesday, sometimes we don't, but we will in fact have a video available for you this coming Tuesday, and then every Friday we sit down and do our budget together. So we will see you when we see you.